Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Locks OTD podcast. This is episode number 16. I'm back here with Andrew and Zach, and this is a little special edition. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you and your family have a great holidays. Eat some good old turkey, some stuffing, little mashed potatoes, whatever you need. Maybe some locks. Eat some locks up. Get some free cash. Never a bad thing. Anyways, we're gonna today provide you with the college basketball locks, the NBA, and the NHL locks. Plus, of course, get into our Thanksgiving 3 NFL games and lock you in for each one of those before we get into NFL Sunday and give you our locks there. Don't forget, we are up now 82.9 units this NFL season. Once again, like I said last podcast, mainly due to us smacking TD props at heavy pluses, but still, plus almost 83 units is absolutely absurd, and we're looking to keep riding hot. Last week for Sunday, we went 1-3. Not great. We'll go over the recap, fill you in with that. So, Andy, kick it off.
Oh yeah, I kind of got unlucky there with the 49ers. The second we post a video about 4 hours later, whole team's basically injured, and ruled out. So tough one there, but we'll bounce back like always. Still get you some units.
Easily. Yeah, I couldn't obviously predict Nick Bosa not playing. And then, of course, Purdy. Purdy was kind of likely to play, honestly. Like, that's why we
Yeah.
were rolling with him. But yeah, whatever. Didn't happen. That's the downfall to doing these podcasts days prior is not knowing everything before the
Mhm.
game actually starts. Like if we were to post it Saturday, of course we'd have much more information than we do on today, like a Wednesday or a Thursday. Anyways, I had the for a 3-star I had Rams plus 3.5 out of -140 versus the Eagles. They got whooped 37-20. Didn't show up. I honestly less confident after the Commanders lost Cowboys because then I was like, the Eagles don't even need to lose. Like, whatever. Long story short, there's some reasoning behind the pick, but whatever. Just didn't work out. Al, at the end of the day, all that matters. 2-star DK Metcalf over 66.5 receiving yards, -110. Al as well. He had 4 receptions for 59 yards. He had like 38 reception yards in the first drive or two, and then only got 20 the rest of the game. So if he just got 30 more every other drive the rest of the game, would have cashed. Didn't. Happens. Zach, you were the only one to cash, so let him know what you had, kid.
Yeah, we have Broncos -6. Got out of that by the skin of our teeth there. There's nothing more enjoyable than watching some random quarterback turn into Joe Montana trying to cover a backdoor. So, because Spencer Ritter was out here throwing flick passes and doing whatever he could to cover that, and it was kind of scary, but got away with one. Broncos -6, so at least we got one hit.
Yeah,
Hey,
fine. I mean, we need to get a sweep in now this week. That's what we're shooting for, of course. Hopefully we can sweep tomorrow's Thanksgiving games as well. A little Thanksgiving gift to the boys, huh? Speaking of gift, a little sweatshirt action. Thank you to everyone who ordered a sweatshirt. They will be at your doorstep before Christmas, like we promised. Those are coming in very soon. We'll keep you updated with all that at LocksOTD on Instagram for everything. Also, you can follow us on threads at LocksOTD, anything at LocksOTD. But now let's kick it into the locks for today. College basketball. You want to start it off, kid? Of course, eh?
of course. Yeah. 3-star today will be Cornell plus 8.5 to -110. They're playing Syracuse and Syracuse. I expect Syracuse to dominate the point or the paint. Inside they should get a bunch of rebounds, but Cornell is a 3-and-D team. They're ranked 25th in all of college for a three-point shot, shots per game. Everyone in their lineup can shoot. This team is just not afraid to pull. They shoot their field goal percentage right now is 48%. The three balls around 33, which is a little low, but still solid. Looking at Syracuse though, team's not impressive, especially shooting wise. They're ranked 354th out of 364 from shooting behind the arc at a 25% clip. That is terrible. Like that's literally bottom of the fucking college basketball scene here. Um, and Syracuse, when they're playing these D1, these smaller D1 teams, I've noticed they're not covering. Youngstown State, they only won by 9. That spread was 12.5. They played Colgate, they only won by 2. And Colgate looks like absolute garbage this year. And Lemoyne, Syracuse only won by 4. And Lemoyne's 2-6. Honestly, I've never heard of that team before. So it's like, I'll take Colgate or Cornell plus 8.5 here in Syracuse. minus 110. Thank
Could
you.
see a little squeaky win out there, but
Yeah, they're gonna be shooting. Boys will be shooting.
yeah. Zach,
We're gonna go with our two-star tonight. It's gonna be San Jose State -5 at a -110. They're going up against Long Beach State. This is in the Ball Dogs Classic tournament. San Jose State was coming to that tournament at 1-5. They're now 3-5. They picked up two really good wins over UTEP and UNC Greensboro. And meanwhile, Long Beach State has continued to just kind of scatter their way down as they started off 1-0 and they've now lost seven in a row. They have yet to beat a Division I school this year. And they're just coming off, they're just struggling, giving up 72 a game. They're barely scoring 60 a game. And although San Jose State is 3-5, they've played some solid competition. They're only giving up 68 a game, but they are shooting at a 44% clip. And in the 8 games that they've played, they have covered in six of those games. So I think the spread is a little bit low as both the teams that San Jose State has beaten in this tournament, Long Beach State has lost to them by 30. So I think the spread is too low at a -5 here. So I think San Jose State's going to get it done with their size, control the boards, and I think they're going to cover this one.
beautiful.
Love it.
We swept last week's college basketball. Look out for another sweep. All right, fellas. Don't forget to lock those ones in. Don't miss out. Now let's roll right into NBA. What do we got?
Zach, all you?
Yep. Hold on, turn the page.
Turn the page.
There we go. So our three-star, this one pretty self-explanatory. We're going Cleveland -11 at a -120. This one they're playing Atlanta. They're playing at home. Cleveland's been the best team in the NBA all year. They're 17-1. They're top 10 in defense because they're the first team in the league in defense, and they're top 10 in offense with being ninth in offense. So actually, I said that backwards. First in offense, ninth in defense. And Atlanta has just struggled. They're in the bottom 10 in defense, bottom 10 in offense, and Cleveland has a huge advantage in their size department. They're going to have Mobley. They're going to have Jared Allen. Clint Capella's not going to be able to do that much. The Hawks have been struggling. They've lost some bad games to the Bulls, a few other teams, and they're on a 3-game losing streak. Cavs have won 4 out of 5. I think the Cavs are going to get it done today, find a way as they've done all year. So we're going Cavs -11, -120 for the three-star. And then we're going to roll right into the two-star. It's going to be Hornets and Heat under 217 at a -110. Last time these two guys played, they went to 220. Since then, the Hornets have struggled to score and move the ball around. The Hornets are 25th in scoring in the NBA. Meanwhile, the Heat are top 10 in defense as they are ranked 8 in the defensive categories. So I think with the Heat also being the number 17 team offensively, I think them getting over 220, well, 220 on the dot, I think was pretty fortunate, pretty lucky the first time. And the Hornets have lost a few players. They did lose Grant Williams, who averages 12 points a game for them, and is a major success to them as well on defense. So I think the Hornets here are just going to struggle as the Heat are coming off a back-to-back, and I just can't see them going super high over a lot of these times. These divisional games are close games between these two schools or between these two teams, excuse me. And so, I think under 217 at a two-star, I think is a good play here.
I love that line.
I like that.
Love it, kid. Lock that one in. Now
Mhm.
we'll roll right on into NHL. Andy, you want to lock them up with 3-star?
Oh, yep. Three-star for today is the Pittsburgh Penguins money line +105 versus the Canucks. Canucks just played last night against the Bruins. They won in a tight game 2-0.
Had
So
him
you know
as a
what that means?
3-star. Sorry to disrupt. Had him as a
Huh?
3-star +100. Cash it.
Oh,
Another NHL premium sweep.
yep. Of course.
Keep
Uh,
going.
but tonight, since Canucks played last night, tonight will be a backup goalie night. Their backup, Arthur's Solvas, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. Has not looked good at all this year. His record is 1-3-1, 1 win, 3 losses, 1 loss in OT. Uh, he has a 3.91 goals against, almost 4, which is very bad, and a .57 save percentage. So hard to trust if you're betting on the Nucks tonight. Good luck with that. But playing a back-to-back, usually if said team wins the first one, they lose the second one and vice versa. And the Canucks and Penguins have already played each other once this year. That was in Vancouver, and the Canucks won 4-3. So tight game. And since it's a East Coast team versus West Coast team, these teams only play each other twice a year. And these games split at a very high rate. And this is one of the rules that we follow in NHL is if you got a season series that's going to split, you split them. So we'll take the plus 105 here with the Penguins at home too. So plus
Little
105.
three
Thank
star.
you.
3 star. Lock that one in. Then I'll roll you into the 2 star here. We got the Montreal Canadiens versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. We have over 6 at a minus 150. That's on DraftKings. Not every book is going to let you take a flat line over for NHL. I know FanDuel only does 0.5, so like you'd have to take over 5.5. Don't do that. Not worth the line. DraftKings over 6 flat minus 150. Lock it in. Canadians, they're 7-11-3, and the Blue Jackets are 9-9-2. And the thing is, no matter who plays goalie on either team, they all have under a 9 save percentage, every single one of them, the starter and the backup. And they all have over a 3 goals against average, starter and backup, if not over 4 for some of them. They also both rank in the bottom 3 for goals against per game. So they just give up goals left and right. Canadians are giving up 3.76 goals per game, and the Blue Jackets are giving up 3.6 goals per game. That's over 7 goals, and we just need an over 6 here. Also, the Blue Jackets can toss up 7 in any given period. That's just like how they're playing this year. They might put up a few goals. They might toss up 8 out of nowhere. Like, they can just toss them in quick. The Blue Jackets score a lot, like I just said, and they're ranking 7th most in the NHL with 3.45 goals per game. So we'll see how that matches up. 3.45 goals per game versus the Canadians giving up 3.76. Interesting there. These teams simply just add up for a goal fest. That's why I love the over here. I like the Blue Jackets in this matchup at a minus 150 money line, but I do like the over a little more just in case at the over 6 for a minus 150. So you can lock that one in because the goaltenders are Swiss cheese. All right. That's the 2 star.
Yeah.
Now we'll roll right in. What?
You talk about Caden Primo? Because that kid, he'll be playing tonight. That's a backup goalie night, and that dude has a 4.59 save percentage or goals against. He is awful. He's got a
Awful,
worse
dude.
save percentage than the guy I was talking about. He's got a .849.
Every goalie in that matchup, no matter who plays, has a 3 or 4 or higher.
Insane.
There's literally no good goalie on either of these rosters. It's like, come on.
I love that over.
Yeah, come on
That
now. Over.
that thing should smack.
Yeah, it should smack. Everything lines up for it to smack, so we'll see
Yeah,
tonight. Love it. Little 2 star action.
I
Minus
love
150
that.
over 6. Come on.
I love
So
it.
now let's roll into a little happy Thanksgiving turkey. All right. We're going to roll into the football games 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start off with the Lions versus the Bears. For our 3-star pick for this game, got the Detroit Lions at a plus 1.5 and the under 53.5 at a minus 155 on FanDuel. It's a minus 165 on DraftKings, and we like value. We'll take the minus 155 on FanDuel. Thank you very much. The Lions are 10-1, obviously the favorites to win the Super Bowl currently. The Bears are 4-7, iffy every week. Lions are the much better team here on offense and defense. There's really no debate there. Like I said, the Lions are shooting for the Super Bowl, trying to bring it back to Detroit. Meanwhile, the Bears are fighting to come close to 500 this season with a rookie QB. They probably won't, but that's what they're fighting for. Lions have a 2-headed monster in their backfield with Montgomery and Gibbs. I mean, these guys are beasts. They score a touchdown every game, literally every game. Like if you're trying to bet David Montgomery for a touchdown, that's a minus 200. You want to bet Gibbs for a touchdown, that's like a minus 150 every single game because they score. Then you can tack on Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's a beast. He's like a top 5 receiver in the league over the past few years. Tack on Jameson Williams, who's one of our favorite players to bet on. He just cashes over 40 yards every week. How you doing? Then you can tack on Samuel Porter as well, who had one of the greatest rookie tight end seasons ever, although that's kind of getting squashed right now by Brock Bowers. But, I mean, these guys just have weapons over the place. And obviously the Bears, you can say they have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, whatever you want to say, DeAndre Swift. I'm still rocking with the Lions all day here. The Bears could, for no reason, keep this game within the spread of 10 points. That's why I didn't want to really take the minus 10 or minus 10.5 because you could see some sketchy crap here. But I don't believe they win. And if they do, not by more than 1. Like if the Bears pull off some lucky win somehow, some way, it's going to be by 1. That's why I like the plus 1.5. Take it safe. And then the Lions only give up 15.9 points per game. Meanwhile, the Bears give up 19.5 points per game, which makes me really like the adjusted under here of 53.5 points. So lock in that teaser for the Detroit Lions plus 1.5 and the under 53.5 at a minus 155 on FanDuel, little 3-star action. So now let's roll on to the second game of the day, the Giants versus the Cowboys. Zach, kick them off, kid.
This is going to be the snooze fest of the day. This is the game you're going to be sitting back, sleeping on the couch while this game's going on. But we do have Dallas -3 in this one at a minus 140. The Cowboys season is not over yet. They showed some fight in that Commanders game. And they also play one of the worst schedules in the NFL to end the year. Wouldn't it just be funny if Cooper Rush somehow leads this team into a wild card fight with some of these top teams in the NFC? And
I
they're
have an
playing a
answer to that
giant.
really quick. Yes, that would be very funny. But keep going.
The NFC East is already played full. Daniel Jones is already gone. The Cowboys happen to get rid of their quarterback too. We'll see. But they play a struggling Giants team that, I mean, they're not even trying to win. Drew Lock's not even playing. They're playing Tommy DeVito just because. So, I mean, Dallas is playing with a lot of confidence after last week's game, and I think their defense is going to make it really hard for Tommy DeVito to get anything going, especially playing on the road in a tough environment. Cowboys haven't won at home in the year 2024, which is pretty bad, but I think this is where they break it. We got a little Thanksgiving miracle today.
I think also their last 6 games of last season too, they didn't win. They haven't won in basically a whole football season in Dallas. It's very sad for the Cowboys.
Right, right around there, but we got them breaking the curse in this one. So it's going to be Dallas -3 to minus 140 for a 3-star. And we also got a little 2-star for you. We're going Rico Dowdle over 69.5 rushing yards at a plus 100. The Giants defense has struggled immensely the last 3 weeks or so to stop the run. They gave up 156 to the Bucks. They gave up almost 200 to the Panthers, and they gave up 150 to the Commanders. In this game, what you're going to see more rushing like the Cowboys did last week, as Rico Dowdle went for 19 carries last week, and that was against one of the worst defensive rush units in the league. There's going to be a lot more rushing this week as they're going to try and take the pressure off of Cooper Rush and give more carries to Dowdle. And with that being said, the last time these two teams played, Dowdle went for 11 carries, right around 50 yards. If they do give him that clip of around 19 or 20 carries, he should be going right over that 70-yard mark or the 69.5-yard mark. And I think you're getting good value here, having this be a plus 100. So I would say we're going Rico Dowdle over 69.5 at a plus 100.
Love it.
Love it. All right.
Andy, give
Yep.
him the night game, kid.
Got a little night game here. We're going with the plus money. Dolphins money on plus 150 against the Packers on the road against the Packers. Dolphins chasing a playoff spot right now. Fins are kind of catching a little heat currently on a 3-game heater. Looking to go into Lambeau Field and spoil the Packers Thanksgiving. Would love to see that. Dolphins last 5 games are 3-2, but averaging 29 points in those last 5 games. So the offense is clicking right now, and Tua being healthy is kind of a major success, key to the Dolphins' success here. Uh, since coming back from his last concussion, he's averaged 255 passing yards and has thrown 11 TDs in his last 5, which is pretty solid. And I also like this one because Dolphins are 5-2 on Thanksgiving, and Packers are 19 and 30 something. They've played a million games on Thanksgiving, and Dolphins haven't really. So I think the Dolphins take this opportunity to get a dub here. Um, and I like HN for a touchdown. Give me him for an anytime. Minus 105.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's got I think 8 on the year right now. He's got 5
He
receiving.
I was gonna say he's low key their wide receiver
Yeah,
one.
it's
He's their
insane.
RB1, but he's their wide receiver one. Tyreek isn't sure. He's there, but he ain't.
No, yeah, he'll get those yards, but Achan's been getting 5 tutties from receiving, which is kind of that's wild for a running back. So we'll take that. We'll take that.
All day. And then so that wraps up good old Thanksgiving Thursday NFL football game. So make sure you get those locks in for tomorrow's games. which will then bring us right into NFL Sunday and lock you in here. So, Andy, you got 3-star?
Yeah, I'll rip it up. Uh, Staying with another Pittsburgh team here. Going with the Steelers money line plus 130. It's a big game for Pittsburgh. Win here will get them 9-3. Looking good for playoffs. Steelers defense has been absolutely locked down, only averaging giving up 17 points a game, which is fourth best in the league. Then you look on the other side, they're playing the Bengals. Uh, Complete opposite. They give up 27 points a game, which is horrible. That has been their weakness all year long. Their offense, though, been pretty productive. They average 27 points. So they give up 27, they average 27. So they're just a lost team right now. But my thing here is looking at the remainder of the schedules for these teams, especially for the Bengals, because the Bengals aren't really out yet. I made this pick just because these two teams still have to play again. Uh, Last game of the season. And if you look at what the Bengals have to play after this game, they have four winnable games. They have Cowboys, Titans, Browns, and then the Broncos, which will be the toughest one, I think. If they can win those four games, uh, their last game will be against the Steelers. I think the Bengals will win that one. So I think the Steelers got this one here, little 50-50 split division game. And that's the thing. If you look at the Steelers, who they play after this too, they're kind of getting thrown into the gauntlet here. Like they could get an easy win here. I think they easily get the win here. The last game of the season, they do not. But they play Ravens, Chiefs, and Philly, the Eagles, like 3 games in a row. Like that's not fun. Like you're literally going against the 3 best teams in the league 3 weeks in a row. And then the last week they play the Bengals. So they're going to be dead on that game. And I think the Steelers lose that one. So I take them in this first game against the Bengals plus 130, lock that in. Oh, real quick. From 2016 to 2023, there's only been one time where the Bengals have won or have beaten the Steelers in the first matchup of the season between the two. And the only time that didn't happen was in 2021 when the Bengals obviously went to the Super Bowl and the Steelers were garbage that year and they lost twice to them. So I think it's a fucking lock. I think it's a fucking lock. I love this pick. Like I love this pick because I think I'm seeing it like through the whole rest of the season. And I'm telling you, if this happens, that last fucking game for the Bengals, we're sniping that motherfucker. We're
Oh,
hitting that thing hard.
You bet your bottom dollar, buddy.
Yeah.
Kid's telling you he's reading it like a book, all
Yeah.
right? Which then I'll kick it right into one of our 2 stars. I got the Minnesota Vikings -3 at a -130 versus the Cardinals. Vikings are 9-2. The Cardinals are 6-5. Sam Darnold will be playing. And Justin Jefferson's obviously in a slight little slump right now. So expect a big game out of him because he doesn't go through slumps for too long. He's arguably the best of all time. He has to be top 5 of all time by the end of his career. Just has to be. Aaron Jones is coming off a fresh 100-plus yard rushing game after finally playing a full game. He was injured, was kind of getting 50% of snaps, 50 to 60%. Last game actually got up this usage, up this production, and bang, 100-plus yard game, just what Aaron Jones does. Jordan Addison also just went off, just dropped a nuke, 8 receptions, 162 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, that's just that's like a Justin Jefferson day. So if your backup can be doing that while Jettis is having an off day, like I said, I expect Jettis to have a little big game here. Cardinals, of course, have Marvin Harrison Jr., James Conner, and Trey McBride, who are all very solid. Marv has been a little iffy this year. James Conner's been good. I mean, it's just James Conner's a little bull. And Trey McBride, I mean, he's a top 5 tight end. You could maybe argue top 3 tight end, like easily. Just a solid player. I'll still take the Vikings guys all day. I'll take Jettas over all of them combined, realistically. The Vikings only give up 17.1 points per game. Meanwhile, the Cardinals are giving up 21 points per game. And the Vikings score on average 25 points per game, while the Cardinals score on average 22. So they each score a solid amount and give up a halfway decent amount. That's why the spread is so close. I adjusted it. I think the spread is 3.5. I cut it down to -3, so a field goal is just a push. Minnesota's clearly fighting with the Lions for the top of their division. And if they lose, they are basically just out of the race to win their division. End of story. And the Cardinals are almost in the same spot, but if they lose, they can easily still compete and win their division since it's so tight. They're all within a game, if not half a game. So, I mean, a loss here for the Cardinals really doesn't affect them that much. They can just win next week and they're right back in the spot, like easy. Just another reason why I love the Vikings -3 at a -130. You can lock that one in for a 2-star, and I'll send it over to Zach to lock you in for the second 2-star.
So our other two-star is going to be Bucks and Panthers over 46 at a -115. Both of these teams defensively are two of the worst defensive teams in the NFL. The Bucks come in at 29, Panthers come in at 30, and I like this too because the Bucks have a top 10 offense, and the Panthers offense has found some new life. Bryce Young came back in his second stint, and all of a sudden knows how to play quarterback now. And so they've put up 27, 20, and 23 since he came back. And one of the big things I do like about this game is that this is a big divisional game for both teams. Talking about divisions being close, and the Bucks are 5-6, but they're only one game out of first place. And with the Panthers starting to play a little bit better, if the Panthers get this win, depending on what the Falcons do, the Panthers are 4-8 are only going to be 2 games out. And they do have a very low strength of schedule to end the year. And then so the Panthers could compete and make a little run here at their division. And I think 46 is a little bit low for these two teams. I think because with the way that the Bucks have been scoring, they're going to have to put up another 27 to 30 points again to beat this Panthers team, as this Panthers team has found success now running the football. They can play through Bryce Young. They play through the play action now. And I think this revamped Panthers offense is going to give the Bucks defense a lot of trouble. So I would say Bucks and Panthers over 46 at a -115 is what we're rocking with.
All right.
I love it. You boys got anything else?
Should be good.
Locked in. Beautiful. Well, that wraps up podcast number 16. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your fam, and we will see you next Thursday. Hope you enjoy this little special edition. We're out. Peace.